Hey guys, it's Fina, and today we're going to be talking about how I changed the trajectory of my life in the midst of dealing with addiction, depression, and self-destructive habits. Now, in this video, I'm not necessarily going to talk to you about the things that happened to me to lead up to that point, but I am going to talk about how, even with doing those things, the inevitable happened. Sometimes I find that I do not have all of the right words, so bear with me. I do stumble a little bit, but I mean well. When it comes to making this type of video, it can be very scary because a lot of people don't want to be seen in this light. But when I was going through it, I wished and even searched for somebody who had an ounce of understanding of what I was going through and went through it. I would say I am still building upon my life, but I am past the depression phase of my life, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not there anymore, and that's why I want to talk about it today. So, yeah. It can be kind of hard to start from the most brutal aspect of my life or point, but what honestly made me change was when I got to the phase of not wanting to be here anymore. And I was like, okay, girl, look. Because real life, you're a chicken. You're not doing that. But like, I was reaching that point. And I was like, okay. We're like, the truth is, we're all going to die someday, right? And I was like, girl, if that's the case, before you do decide that, what do you want to do before then, right? So I was like, okay, yep. I got out a big piece of paper and I said, okay, I'm gonna do these things first. Then I'm gonna X, Y, and Z, right? And then in doing that paper, I started like doing the things. And then as I was adding on more and more, I realized, I was like, wait a minute, girl. There ain't enough time in the world. And that's when the realization hit me, like, oh girl, like no matter what happens, at the end of the day, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but girl, you ain't gotta worry about that. So it's like, okay. And you create this mindset. It's like, while I am here, why am I living in a life that I don't want? And if I am living in a life I don't want, what kind of life or person do I want to be in this life? You know, that's it. If people can make me feel this way, or if this thing is real, or if people can be so hurt, like on the left side of things, then there's no way that people can be on the right side. Like that concept just didn't make sense to me. Sorry if I'm not making sense either. I don't even know if my words are coming out the right way, but I would say that too. Like, I was addicted to smoking. I no longer smoke. No. First, I was into self-destructive habits because I wanted to feel something. Because growing up, I didn't know a lot of things. There were a lot of things that I wasn't taught about the world. I feel like hindered me and hindered my perception of people, which is fine. But a lot of my feelings were internalized, so it was always thinking that I was the issue. And a big part of it was that I was in fact the issue, because I was the common denominator in all the things I was experiencing. Baby, if you better not go out. Don't be blinking at me. Don't be blinking at me. Right? Maybe that's confirmation. These things are saying like, yes, baby, you were the common denominator, but not in the way you think. But anyway, I'm not even gonna go there with you guys. But yeah, so self-destructive habits. And then I tried to stop doing that, but I didn't realize that I would replace that habit with other things, because I still didn't get it, I suppose. So extremely hot showers, or even like smoking, like the habitual routine of smoking the smoke, the feeling of the burning sensation, I didn't realize, like, that's what I thought. I just enjoyed it because I did, but I didn't realize I enjoyed it because it gave me that same break of relief in between spaces. If you've done the things, then you know the break I'm talking about, that piece in your brain that just like expands and open up. And it felt like it was opening up the door to opportunity. But then after a while I got tired of smoking because I was like I was addicted to it because I was used to it. And then when I wouldn't, the other habit wanted to come back, and I was like, okay, no, we cannot go there. So I remember looking up online, like, oh, how to go on the tea break, how to do this. And it's crazy because even with that, it's a bunch of people just talking about like, oh, how to go on a tea break. And it's like, how you don't have no money, do you? No, I need help. I'm trying not to do this no more. Y'all getting on my nerves. What did it take? It took me wanting to stop. It took me okay, like, girl, instead of smoking, just get high. This was before. Hey. I'm not gonna say that. But if you know, you know. So basically, like, I would, like, the idea to stop every time I would smoke, I would think, okay, I can't do this anymore. And I think thinking that eventually led me down the trajectory of smoking less. I said, okay, girl, cut it in half. Sometimes I would cut it in half, leave, and come right back. But hey, at least I took a break in between. Throwing it away, wasting my money, buying it and throwing it away, waiting and then buying some more. I did what I had to do. Like yes, it was a reoccurring issue, but it was like, okay, I know I don't want to do this no more. So it's like, oh, and getting away from people who do it. Because during that time, it's crazy because like I was also dating, but then I would like run into people who would do it, and that would trigger me in a way right back to the situation. Because I think, well, if it's just this once, no, get away from that man. Because if it's just that once, he's gonna want you to do it again and again every time you come back. No. You know why he wants you to be? Yeah, so he can. And girl, you're not doing that because I didn't. Girl, I would just be high. Take me home. I'm tired now. Yeah. But yeah, it took me. It doesn't necessarily take you believing that you can do it. It takes you wanting to do it, the things, and actively thinking about not doing them. There was this program, this script, this person in my mind who I would see in my head when I was smoking. It was basically a dimensional version of me in my head. Like, this is the one I saw. And she would be sitting down in like this little rocking chair. You know, the wind is blowing. She's somewhere down south. There's like a weed tumbling around. Yes, it is very descriptive because I have a vivid imagination, okay? So go with it. She's wearing this purple dress. Or maybe it was like burgundy, plum dress, whatever. She's smoking. And what changed with that was every time she would just go sit down and smoke, she would be looking out. One day I had to change the image to her standing up. I remember she stood up and she put it out and she walked. And like, she was sitting on her porch, by the way. And when she walked out, there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. And that's who takes precedent today, is me. The me who is creating more opportunities in my life that I want to see. I had to put it down. I had to fight. I had to essentially waste money to not do it. And also that too, creating a life for myself, because I didn't have a life. I didn't have friends. Well, I didn't have friends. Okay, so I didn't have friends. I didn't have much of a life, and I'm an only child too. And it's not that I'm like against going out by myself. I usually do, but it got to the point where I did start to become depressed. I started being like, what's the point of going out if I'm always by myself, you know? To now being being okay with being by myself and taking up space even when I'm alone. That's the difference. Allowing myself to take up space and not feel like an outsider simply because I'm alone. Like, I knew it was okay to be alone, but I didn't feel okay being alone, even though I was used to being alone. I don't even know. That's like a layered phrase, but yes. It essentially came down to the fact that, okay, I can continue on the path that I'm on and live this long, miserable life, or I can be the person who I want to be, because I feel like I deserve to experience what it's like to love yourself, what it's like to live out your dreams, and what it's like to be that girl. But to me, who do I want to be? Not what's morally like, right? Who people tell me what's realistic, because you know what shouldn't be realistic, being that depressed. I would say right now I'm sitting on the edge of becoming. I don't even know if that makes sense. The edge of becoming, because there's a lot of things that I've done in the background that, girl, I didn't tell you all my business like that, okay? But there was like a lot of phases that took me to getting here, essentially. But all in all, things that you're afraid of, not fitting in, being an outsider, when you go down this path, the same things that you were afraid of are going to happen, but it was for your betterment, because you were never meant to be around those people. You were never around to be in those situations. Things that work for other people, a lot of people did what I did, and it didn't affect them. I'm not the type of person who can handle all the things that I was putting myself through, you know? That too. If you can go out of your way to do bad things to yourself, you can go out of your way to do good things for yourself. It's not easy. Girl, it really ain't easy, but it is well worth it. It is so worth it. And along the way, you may get the urge. Like, to be honest, from time to time, I remember I went through like an edible phase. By the way, I got tired of taking edibles, but shoot, girl, that's way better than, I had to get my tonsils removed and everything. And that was like a part of like the alignment too, because my tonsils were messed up. I had so many lymph node issues, so many health issues, trying to get better, doing all the things, and then, you know what they, there's this lady, Karen Calabrese, she says, like, if you don't take care of the most magnificent thing in the world that you've ever been given, which is your body, or something along those lines, then where are you going to live, essentially, you know? But wanting to be the best version of myself let me down so many paths that I've infiltrated into my life now, and I am better for it. I regret not getting to this point sooner. You know, people say, like, oh, if you look back, do you regret your life? I regret not getting back to this point sooner, because I feel like when you grow, you have two options, right? The option to believe in the unknown, and the option to do the thing to make the things that are known easier. Choose the unknown. I wish I would have chose the unknown so many times, because sometimes I would think it, but I wouldn't believe in myself. So it comes down to, like, I know I said wanting to do it, because when you want, okay, when you allow yourself to even think that you want to be a certain type of person, that's when you can start believing it. But if you're at a point where you're just doing the things every day, you're not going to feel like wanting to do anything. You have to start with allowing yourself to want things first. Then you got to believe you can do it. Then you got to get up and make it happen. Okay? So, premise of this story. You already feel tied down. You need to write everything that you want to do before it's time, because, baby, enjoy the fact that, well, at least one day, eventually, I will. Like, that's going to happen for you. So you ain't even got to worry about that, sweetheart. That's going to happen. You ain't going to be here, like, you know, one day. So, hey, that part is already figured out for you. So you ain't gotta do that yourself. You don't gotta do that yourself. So while you are here, what are you gonna do? Exactly what you want. Exactly. So what do you want? And then do the things, even if it's by yourself. I've done a lot of things that were by myself. And girl. Yeah, because that's what happened for you. Get away from people that influence your bad habits. Be okay with being alone. Take up space in every environment you're in, and do the things that you need to do in the environment that you are in now to make it happen for you. Do not choose to stay stuck in your life. You know how many people stay stuck? You want to be one of them people, girl? No, you don't. So even if it takes 10 years, at least 10 years, once I made it about what I wanted, that's when I became happy. Not what should I do to appease other people. What do I want for me to be happy? I don't care if it's your mommy. I don't care if it's your daddy. Because it's just a little voice in your brain. Blah, blah, blah. No, what do you want? And then wake up every single day and go get it. You know? Oh yeah, also will help. I used to listen to Billy Osbrooks, one of his videos. I'll probably put it on the screen. Eric Thomas, these 3 videos. What else I do? David Goggins when I really need that extra push. I listen to any of his videos, girl. He said the same thing. Get y'all lazy. Okay. Period. And yeah, I think my next, like, this video was about, like, what pushed me was the wanting and wishing for more. In the next video, we're going to either talk about what I did to lose the weight, because I went from this to this. Girl, I don't know where the room on the screen is, so but I went from this to this, and that'll be the next video, okay? Because that was part of, like, my level up journey, basically. Like, changing the trajectory, level up, go get what you want. Who do you want to be? And act out the character, baby. Only you can act out you. That's why you so depressed, because you're not acting out you. You acting out somebody else. You're acting like out the lesser version of yourself. I was acting out the lesser version of myself when I knew I had more in me. Sometimes I still struggle with that. I could be doing better today. Ciao.